live and direct from Hanapepe, Kauai. My name is Seth Womble. This is CANversations, episode 5, our second live episode for today, inviting in Pancho Sullivan today to talk with us about the spirit of CAN, what the last few weeks have been like for him, some of the challenges he's been going through, the things that his family's been working on, and maybe some goals and things that they're working on as well going into the future. We're really honored to have him with us today. He's on the other side of Kauai, and I'm just going to keep talking here for a little bit until I see he's checked in. There he is. Hey, Pancho, I'm going to pull you in right now. All right, live with Pancho Sullivan. There he is. Looking good, buddy.
How you guys doing?
Really great. This is another nice day. We got a little shift in the winds going on right now.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day.
We had a little bit of rain up down this way this morning, which is kind of odd. I guess you guys get a little bit more of that pretty regularly.
Yeah, it dumped pretty hard this afternoon, or excuse me, this morning.
Yeah.
But it's clear and beautiful right now.
Right on.
Here in Lihue.
Well, let's get right into it. There might be a few people out there that don't know who you are. I mean, but I guess that's not unheard of. But you're a pretty interesting character to me, and we've got some history where our paths may have crossed quite a few times, but a long time ago. So it'd be interesting to catch up. But tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got to where you are today.
Well, my name is Pancho Sullivan. I'm 46 years old. I was born in Haena here on Kauai. Moved to Oahu when I was 4 years old. Grew up on Oahu, and was very fortunate to fall in love with the ocean at a very early age. First being exposed to being on surfboards here on Kauai, and then living on the North Shore and having that as my backyard was such a blessing. Being able to have that resource, and to see just the level of surfing over the years, the icons of the sport of surfing, that would come to the North Shore every season. I would get a chance to watch those guys surf, and that really inspired me to want to pursue surfing as a, not so much as a profession. It ended up being a profession for quite some time, but more so just the thrill of riding waves and watching the guys that were at the highest level, their approach, sort of what, the passion that they had for surfing, and the passion that they had for trying to tap into the highest level of their own ability. That really, to me, was so fascinating. I would watch these guys and see how much they put into it, how much focus they had. And, it just was something I was drawn to.
Incredible amounts of drive just in that one aspect of sports. The progress that's been made in surfing since when you really got into the game to where it is now it's pretty mind-blowing.
Oh yeah, it's mind-boggling. I mean, to see what the younger generation is doing, guys like John and Eli Hanneman, and I mean the list goes on and on. There's so many just amazing surfers these days. It's incredible. I think each generation is very fortunate because you can kind of draw off of inspiration off of the generation before you, and sort of learn and evolve, and equipment's evolved. The way the approach, surfing has always kind of been described as an art form, and in the past I think it was had its own sort of edgy, sort of rebellious sort of mystique about it, and it wasn't very cool for it to be sort of like a sport as much. Now it's evolved, and obviously with competitions all over the world, and the ability for guys to support their families and make good money and do all that, they've evolved into really into all of the cross training that has come out of it, the coaching, all that has really just helped push the sport forward. I think, not just in competitive surfing, but obviously, it has spawned so many different cool movements within the sport. The retro boards that have come back.
They're cool.
That are so much fun to ride. I mean, drawing different lines on those boards. The guys, hats off to the guys that are chasing the biggest waves in the world. a whole nother technical aspect of the sport.
All
All
the
of
new
this.
materials that are being introduced now too.
Yeah, yeah,
Wild.
especially on the safety side. I mean, that's
Yeah.
to me, having lost some close friends, in big surf. It's just incredible to see those, that group of people come together and try to find ways to make it safer. It's in their blood, it's in their nature to push the limits, and there's consequences to those limits. So it's really cool to see some of those safety measures and how far those have come as well.
Totally. Man, incredible. I don't want to tangent, but kind of tied into that. Not too long ago, I was on an airplane and saw the documentary that was put out by all the crew that got back together there on the North Shore. Incredible. Definitely had me in some tears there at another point or two in there, but incredible. And what you're talking about there is, people banding together and pushing each other. And essentially, that's what really wanted us to bring you in. You are an incredible bag of experiences from a broad spectrum of things, not just surfing. You're a family man, you've got a few companies and things like that you're working with now too. And so you've got a broad spectrum of things that we can talk about in the spirit of CAN, essentially. There, he's got his shirt on, right on. And the idea, everybody's got their own interpretation, and that's what we'll get into as we start talking. But let's, so you've got a family. You were talking about generations. You've got your own.
Yeah. I've been, blessed to have 3 beautiful children, Kanekoa, Kira, and Kehao. Married to a wonderful woman that I've known since high school.
Wow.
We've been together for almost 20 years, Haunani, and very blessed, to have all of them in my life. I draw so much inspiration. Everything I try to do in life is to create a better life for my family, my ohana, and so I'm very connected to them. I really enjoy spending time with them. They're my focus, my world. Yeah. So that's
beautiful.
I with my kids, even though surfing was always my passion, and I was so deeply involved in it, it's not something that I wanted to push on my kids. I would kind of always had hoped that whatever they would find, whatever they're passionate about, and then I could help them sort of cultivate that. But in the back of my mind, always been pulling, hoping that it would lead to more family time in the water.
Of course.
And so all of them are starting to really connect with the ocean. So that's been such a blessing for our family. Very, very healthy outlet.
Yeah, man. You'd think it'd be pretty natural for kids to often follow in their footsteps but often that can be intimidating too if they've got some big shoes to fill, perhaps. So it's really cool that they're able to find that connection on their own, and I totally support that style of parenting. Like letting them find what they want to get into and then make that connection on their own. That's awesome, dude. That's really cool.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's it's that old saying in life. You can't force anything. So it's like my thing is trying to expose the kids to different, whatever it is, art, music, different sports, and hoping that they sort of connect to something that can fulfill them in the way that surfing has for me.
Yeah.
It's been such a blessing in my life on so many levels, that but that was my experience, and so their experience might be completely different, whereas they might gravitate towards whatever.
Yeah. We've all got a different set of lenses that we're perceiving all of these experiences through.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool because during these CANversations, I'm really fortunate and blessed to hear a lot of experiences and stories, and there's so many things that we can all relate to. So I want to start talking about some of these things. I got a couple of questions for you, but really quick before we get into it, because we want to give away a couple of things too, sort of towards the end of this thing to keep people interested and sticking on in case hopefully they're going to be listening to more of you than me, but we got some hats and stickers, things like that. We'd love to give these away. So some point during this live broadcast, we're going to ask a question related to what we've been talking about, and the first person to answer in the comment section there can get some free gear. Oh, there is also a question section down there too. So if you guys do come up with questions, we're trying to ignore the comments a little bit as much as we can. All the hearts are really cool though. They're very distracting. But yeah, ask questions, go ahead, and we'll see if we can fit those into, no problem. All right, with all that said, basically what we want to get into is not how weird everything is. That's how every conversation is going right now. It's pretty obvious how weird things are. So what we want to talk about that people can relate to perhaps is, what are some of the changes that this created for you, this circumstance, this global circumstance that has created for you, you know, perhaps routines that you had set up or something that, you know, had to change, you know. So we want to kind of highlight those things first, maybe something that was really hard for you to have to give up.
Yeah, I mean, I think just like everybody, it's you know, drastically affected our family in a number of different ways. You know, from my wife and I not working. You know, that's something that I know a lot of people are dealing with right now, and just trying to navigate that. You know, how do you, you know, sort of, you know, for me on my side, from, you know, my wife is a flight attendant, and you know, there's been big changes in you know, at Hawaiian Airlines with the number of flights that they have. You know, fortunately, you know, she has her job. It's going to be a while before she goes back to work. But on my side, as kind of an entrepreneur or independent contractor, you know, I've had to look at sort of analyze, you know, the how I can support the accounts and the businesses that I work with through this time, what I can do from my side, and you know, really just figure out a way to keep moving things forward. You know, I mean, as a company, you know, Island Days, we design and manufacture apparel, and we really just shifted our focus, since orders are not being shipped because stores are closed. We shifted our focus to design, our design division, and you know, really just went, hey, how do we get better at everything that we do? You know, every little detail in the product, how do we make it better? And that's sort of been a really great outlet for us to be able to focus on those things, you know, to whereas, you know, normally it's a fast moving business, and sometimes, you know, we don't scrutinize things. I mean, we're pretty critical when it comes to making sure that it's the highest quality that we're capable of designing and producing. But I think we've really analyzed a lot of things. We've taken this time to really analyze our business as a whole and just get better and tighten up things that, you know, we felt, you know, we needed to do. And so, you know, as far as, you know, the business, that's been sort of the business side of things. And then, you know, I think in a lot of ways, this has been a blessing for our family to be able to be together and be closer together. Obviously, like with the kids homeschooling, you know, being at home all day, every day, and you know, abiding by the stay-at-home orders, you know, just putting time into making sure that they're getting their schoolwork done, eating healthy, exercising here at home, getting them outside, creating a routine so that we wouldn't, you know, we would stay in a routine and not sort of get too anxious or you know, feel kind of, I guess, claustrophobic, if you will. So we've been really trying to you know, focus on that. Just our health in general has been probably the number one thing that we've been focused on. We realize that, you know, this is going to be a stressful period, and you know, with a lot of uncertainty, and the best way to kind of combat that is to, you know, take care of your body, your mind, and your spirit, and you know, and that will really help give you clarity on the things that you can, you know, sort of you can control, because a lot of things we can't control, and so I think, you know, really just surrendering to that, not that, hey, we have no control over this situation, but you know, let's just really focus on the things that we can, and you know, make the best of every day. So, you know, fortunately, we've got an amazing mayor here on Kauai that's allowing us to still enjoy the ocean and get out and exercise. So that's been something that's been on our daily, you know, routine, is making sure we get out, enjoy some sunlight, you know, whether it's a bike ride, you know, or a beach walk or a surf, or a swim, you know, just getting outside.
Cool. That's a beautiful part of a daily routine. Are there other things that you guys are doing as part of that family routine too? Because that sounds like a staple to me. And I definitely recommend that to anybody. If you got an ocean nearby, just get in it for a minute at least. You know, you don't have to hang out, go swim, go enjoy it, surf, dive, whatever you
Yeah.
got to do. Man, it's
Yeah.
good for the soul.
So yeah, so it's very therapeutic in a lot of ways. And another thing we've done as a family is we planted a garden, got some veggies going.
Nice.
What else? We've had, some movie nights, some board game nights, you know, uh, just a little bit of everything, just as much as we can do within our household. And um, yeah, outside of that, you know, uh, nothing major. I mean,
Yeah.
we're but I have been doing a lot of work from home. We're getting um, pretty close to being fully done with our new season, our seasonal line that we designed, and that's been a lot of fun. Working on that with Abe Lush, my business partner, and designs are coming out great.
Nice.
Samples look amazing. You know, just being able to have that creative outlet, I think is good. For anybody, no matter what it is that you're into. Music, art.
Yeah.
Maybe things that I've been encouraging my kids. Hey, anything that we can do from home that you've always wanted to do.
Now.
Now's the time.
Yeah.
We've got the time to actually
Yeah.
to do it. So
You nailed it. You nailed it with all that, for sure. I mean, to think about the things that we can't do right now doesn't really get you anywhere, let alone at any time in life. And you've for sure shown that throughout your various parts of your career and things like that you've applied yourself to. Numerous, obstacles and things that you've had to overcome, and you never would have been able to do any of that if you'd have sat there and said you couldn't do it. So that's beautiful, man.
I think it's the spirit of CAN. I mean, I'm a real believer in that. I believe that, every single person that has gone through some type of adversity or faced challenges. And, we all go through different things in life that really put us to the test. And, it allows you to sort of evolve and grow as an individual and try to find, the silver lining, if you will. I try to be as positive as I can. And even at 46, I wake up every day kind of ready to learn something new and, and evolve and try to be a better person. So,
Yeah.
that's for me, that's just, something that I'm motivated by that. And I feel like, usually if you're thinking about ways to, thinking about, being positive and trying to find the silver lining and really push through that adversity and try to get to the other side and maybe reflect on what you learned from that and grow and take that into the next phase of whatever it is that you're at in life. It really I think it builds character. It allows you to really feel like you can accomplish whatever it is that you set your mind to,
Truly.
and you can get through the hard times. You can. So yeah, that's just sort of been.
Oh, skipped out there for
I
a
lost
second.
you for the second.
Yeah, there you go. So that's been, again, beautifully said. And I think what the common thread that's becoming evident not only through these CANversations, but just in general conversations that I'm having outside of this, is that we have all been given a chance to really slow down, focus on values, the things that are really close to us. And what's unique about that is that I don't think that there really is a person on the planet that doesn't really truly have those same core values. And that's, I guess, where Andy came up with the concept for the hats that I'm wearing. It's about those core values that we all share. Of course, we have differences in all of our beliefs and faiths and things like that. And that's where things get kind of exciting, sometimes spicy. But we all have those same core values. And the other thing to remember, too, is it's good to ask for help because we can't do this all on our own,
Yeah. I mean, and that's what I feel. We're all here to encourage one another. That you can do it. You can do it. Whatever it is that you set your mind to, and sometimes when things are tough, you need help. You need to ask for help and reach out to your friends and your family and get that support. Sometimes we need a little lift, in our lives to get over those hurdles. So, there's definitely no shame in that.
No way. No way. Well, I kind of want to start into kind of seeing if you got any stories under that belt of yours, because I'm sure you do. But maybe just in general, if you can think of something off the top of your head, an experience that you've been through, past or present, doesn't matter, that was particularly difficult. That for sure you're human, and you must have had moments where you just snowballed on those. Like, there's no way. Like, this is going to be impossible, whatever, all those things that we can tell ourselves. And then if you can back that up with perhaps how you got through it, or what's your mode of, changing your frame of mind.
Well, I guess anybody who knows me, and I won't go into, too many details about it, but I had a pretty tough childhood, pretty tough upbringing, and went through some like really, really tough times as a kid. Broken family, a lot of drug addiction in my family, basically homeless just about. But I was very fortunate to have people within the community, looking out for me and taking care of me in those times. And, I think just the kindness and the love and the aloha that I was shown as a kid from so many different people, from people that had nothing, but still, offered me a meal or a ride, or, all the way down to, I think going through that experience growing up, has really kind of shaped me to realize that, even, when you're going through challenges and adversity, that, again, try to look for the silver lining, and I always felt like a lot of those situations I knew were out of my control. And, that obviously, I don't think either one of my parents wanted to be in that situation. But it was the reality of the life that I was sort of, I guess, meant to lead. And, I think in a lot of ways it taught me how to be a survivor and how to get through tough times, and how to keep pushing forward, and, try to make a better tomorrow for myself. So that I think really shaped me a lot. Those were very difficult times growing up. And then, I think my youngest was Kehao was born in 2009 with a heart defect, and we didn't know that till the day she was born. And that was a very frightening experience. Having to get her, going into open heart surgery the day after she was born was not knowing if she was going to make it. They were talking about medevacing her to California, and it was a really frightening experience, to say the least. But I've got an incredible wife who's just a rock, and she just was so grounded through the entire experience, and just had a tremendous amount of faith that she was going to be okay. And so that was also another difficult situation that we faced. And then once again, going back to having sort of the community rally around our family and help us out by putting on fundraisers to help cover some of her medical costs that would have, without a doubt, bankrupted us, caused us to lose our home, everything. Just again, seeing that kindness just lifted us up so much. And, you realize that at the core, as you said, I think, people are here in Hawaii, especially, I feel like, there's the aloha spirit is alive and well. And it's, it's amazing when you get to experience that, the kindness and the outpouring of love and support. That was very life-changing experience for us as a family, to feel that kind of a love for our daughter, who a lot of people didn't even know. And she's been such a blessing in our life. She's such a a ray of light, and so yeah, that. I think, those experiences have been a tremendous test, on just, emotional and mental well-being, having to go through those experiences. But I think, again, it's taught me to reach out to people and support people that are going through a hard time, and do what you can to help other people out, that may be less fortunate, or simply just having a bad day. I feel like we all can make a difference in that way, and it takes nothing to be able to do that. And in the end, it may have a greater effect on somebody else than you can ever imagine. So, I think that's one of the things that I love the most about, Hawaii, is that there is that core value that we're all raised with, and that's to have that aloha and respect for one another. And yeah, those are, two experiences in my life that have really shaped me.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, and yeah, that's probably a drop in the bucket, really. But that's huge. I know you've been through a whole bunch of stuff, so that's why we got all you guys on here, because there's people out there that have been through stuff, So we're live right now. This is unedited. This is Pancho Sullivan, and he's giving it to you real right here. I'm kind of floored just really listening and hearing your story. I had other questions and things like that, but maybe if there's anybody out there that's got any questions, we can let those come in now. That's okay. I've got a button here where I can select one of those. But let's say, so I mean, a rocky road has really shaped you into a really resilient human being. Is what I'm gathering from these short stories. And you've needed help to be that resilient human being. You didn't do any of this on your own. You're not superhuman. And say you're faced with the current situation, given the track record that you have and the resiliency that you already have, do you still have moments where you're like, God, I just don't know if this can happen? Or, we're not talking about discernment, as far as like safety or something like that, or we're just talking about, a trial or a challenge or something like that. And if there's what I'm getting at, do you have any kind of methods if you find yourself getting caught up feeling negatively about something, is there a way that you change your state of mind?
Go surf.
I kind of had a feeling you were going to say that, but I thought I'd give you a chance.
It's always been my go-to. I think most surfers know that feeling. It's like, no matter if you're having a bad day or things aren't going right, it just seems to really help you reset. Something about being in the ocean and being in nature and kind of looking around. I mean, obviously we enjoy riding waves, but just being out there and watching the ocean move and feeling that energy, and whether it's, to get cosmic, but
get cosmic, it's cool.
Yeah, having it rain and then seeing a rainbow, it's just like, looking at the mountains. To me, that just, there's something so energizing, and it just balances everything out, and it allows you to have, it's allowed me to have more clarity on things that I want to, be better at, or maybe it's, a challenge that I'm dealing with. If it's like you go out there and you come in and you realize like everything's going to be okay. I'm going to get through this. It may not be the outcome that I was maybe forcing to happen, but even if, I guess surfing teaches you, it humbles you, but it also teaches you how to, a lot of times you want to impose your own will on the wave, and the wave is much more powerful than we are, and we get slapped down, but you get another chance. You get to get back up, hop back on your board, paddle out, try it again.
That's
and
it.
So it teaches you a lot of perseverance, and I think that's something that we all have our days of we have our doubts and our insecurities, and and things that creep in, that we I think we try to do our best to always push forward. And I think that's for me, I think just the ocean has just been that release for me, and I feel so fortunate that that I've been able to find surfing, and that's been such a big part of my life. Um, because
Totally agree.
it's been my therapy. Yeah, it's been my source of joy. It's been my therapist. It's been, so many things. I mean, my wife knows me so well. Even if I'm having a bad day, I've heard her tell me numerous times, just go surf already.
I think I've heard that a time or two as well. Hey, that's really, man, that's amazing. Surfing in general has obviously evolved crazily. It's a lot more popular than when we were growing up, when we were kids,
Yeah.
and there's a lot more people doing it. But there's also still a lot of people that don't have access to that, even with the wave pools and all the crazy things that are popping up now. So recently, for me personally, I've had a neck injury that I've been working with, and it's made it really difficult to surf, and I've surfed my whole life. So I'm working with that and dealing with that in my own way, and staying with training and things in different ways. But I got to get in the ocean. It doesn't matter what. And I didn't think that I could live without surfing. And what I did find through this whole thing is that it's more about that relationship with the ocean. And some people don't get that. So I want to somehow make this relatable, this feeling that you're talking about, to those that maybe live really far away from the sea. You can move. It can be expensive and crowded, but
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, as a surfer, I feel like, I've done a number of different things where I kind of get that same sensation. And I've had that sort of that split moment where I go, in my mind, as I'm talking to myself and going, wow, this is incredible. This is an incredible moment. Really just soak it in and enjoy it, experience, appreciate it. And I think that can be found in a lot of different ways. I mean, I think I went through that little bit of, coming off of being able to travel around the world and surf and do all that. It was such a blessing for me, but I realized, there was a lot more to life, and that there was a lot more life to live that wouldn't involve that as a profession or even my ability to be able to do it every single day. And so I think for me, I've learned to appreciate, and enjoy just even like swimming in the ocean, swimming in the pool, getting out in nature and going on a hike or mountain biking, or, anything that I feel like ultimately, when you can get outside in nature, it really, it's going back to that cosmic thing. There's just an energy there. And I think that's what surfers get sort of addicted to is that energy of being out in nature and being surrounded by that energy.
yeah.
It's almost a bit of a euphoric feeling, and you can get it in a number of different ways through, I think for some people it's in music, and, other people it's in art. Other people it's just, walking their dog even, it's just being outside. I mean, I think that's kind of something that, really, we all have to work and support ourselves. And, at the end of the day, I think being able to make that time to get out and do those things for yourself, and sort of take that short period of the day to be able to reflect and just have and be alone with your thoughts. It allows you to kind of really put things in perspective, and really see, hey, maybe I don't need to, need those things in my life. They're not making me happy, and I think there's a lot of different ways to achieve that, not just in surfing, but just, by pouring yourself into something that kind of fulfills you
Yeah.
and brings you joy.
Yeah, I totally agree. There's all those aspects for sure. If you don't have the ocean, then for sure, bare minimum, get outside. Bare
Yep.
minimum, go for a walk. If you want to push it a little bit, get some exercise with that in nature, and then you're really cooking, because you're creating all those good chemical releases, endorphins, things like that. If you want to talk science, I mean, you can break it down like that. It doesn't have to be an emotional state. But yeah, there's weightlifters, there's climbers,
Yep.
there's runners. They get to this thing that everybody's calling a flow state. And I know that surfers, free divers, I've really dove in, sorry for the pun, I dove into free diving pretty vigorously over the last few years. And I get to that flow state feeling super quick
Yep.
with that. And that's been
Yeah.
really healing for me without being able to surf, so yeah. And all the ideas flood to you during that time. You've got a clear mind, but you're not attached to anything, you're just there in that moment. And that is super important. I think anywhere you are in the world, you can achieve that. You can feel that.
Yeah, I mean, people. I definitely feel like, each individual person just has to seek that and seek out what it is that gives them that, that joy or that personal time to find that feeling and to be, find that contentment. But like you were saying, I think, there's so many distractions in our lives every single day. And when you can find an outlet like that, like whether it's free diving or CrossFit or whatever, it's the one part of the day when what you're doing is the only thing that you're focused on. And there's something to be said about that. Like, I feel like it really allows you to, not only like just sort of de-stress and let go of a lot of things that might be, consuming your thoughts, but just the endorphins, it just does something to lift your spirits and make you happy. And so I think every single person on this planet needs that in their life, no matter what it is, whether it's surfing or it's, martial arts or whatever. I mean, just anything to give you that sort of, get those endorphins flowing.
Yeah. Thanks for circling around in those thoughts with me, because as much as I know that stuff, I still need to hear it. And there's probably somebody out there that needed to hear it too. Like, I tend to definitely take on too much. I call it juggling. It's not a nice act. That generally puts you in the clown category. And I don't really want to be a clown all the time. It's fun to be a clown sometimes, but
it's hard. We all do. I mean, I do. I think every person I know is, they're all juggling a lot of different things in their lives. And it's something I think we all, I'm guilty of, going through periods where I'm just far too focused on work and, not taking care of myself the way that I need to. And usually, like, I'll something will happen to get me to realize, hey, wait a minute, you're not checking back in with yourself. You're not taking that time, and other things start to suffer. Right. So, it's something that I think we all go through that. We all experience that sort of, epiphany where we realize, where the priorities need to be.
yeah. And if you're going to do something, it's so worth it to do it with all of yourself and as a good whole self, so that you got to get that good mental stimulation through outside, through nature, through the ocean, whatever it is, so that you can come back to life as a good person and apply yourself fully to whatever it is that you need to do. Man, there's no other way.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, let's try and see if we can give away one of these hats. I'm just checking to see if there's any questions. Nobody's asked anything. If there's anybody that wants to ask a question, you can get a question in there. We'll see if Pancho will answer for you. But otherwise, going to give away one of these right now. So the first person that can respond in the comments section, what industry does Pancho's wife work in? And I don't know. Is that a good one? We can cancel that if you got a better one. I just off the top of my head. Trying to keep it random. All right. So first comment in there, if anybody can tell me what Pancho's wife does for a living, what job has she not been able to go to currently? We'll give you guys we'll send you a hat no matter where you are. What else, man? What's the rest of your day look like?
Kids are just still powering, trying to get all their schoolwork done. Week and a half left of school, so just trying to help them finish strong. Doing I got a lot of my work emails out of the way this morning. Hopefully get in the ocean or go on a bike ride. We've sort of had a routine where we walk our dogs in the evenings.
Nice.
So that'll definitely, they got to get out and get their exercise too.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. Other than that, just that's about it. Just working from home as much as I can, and yeah.
That's the way. Well, we got one answer there. It's not the one we were looking for. Can you see that?
Oh, I can, but yeah, she does do real estate too.
She does.
Yeah.
So that technically counts. If maybe we can do two giveaways.
I know that's Jonah Morgan.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, Jonah.
Well, Jonah, you got yourself a hat for sure. No worries, bro. We'll get in touch with you. We'll have Andy from Spirit of Can get in touch with you, man. Great. We appreciate everybody joining in. This has been really cool. What'd you say? Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, he's an amazing, he's a great surfer, charges pipe, and he's also an incredible photographer.
Right on. Right. Oh, Andy's chiming in right now too, saying that we can give away another one. So if anybody can tell us what your wife's other job is that we had spoken about earlier, we'll give away another one. But yeah, so this he was a friend of yours on the North Shore. He says a photographer.
Yeah. He's from the Big Island originally, but he's been living on Oahu for a really long time. Really cool, mellow guy, great surfer. You know, he's one of the hardcore pipe regulars, surfs out there all the time, and he takes incredible photos, like, you know, really artistic, you know, sort of POV looking out of the barrel pictures from.
Cool.
I've been doing it for a long time, you know, of shore breaks and different, just amazing colors. He captures like these, you know, the inside of barrels with like the sunset, you know, in the background, kind of a look that are just mind-boggling.
You heard it from Sullivan. You guys better go check out Mr. J Magic Hawaii there, and he's still in the comments. It's good. I wanted to go back really quick too. You were just talking, and I was thinking it might be another last-minute relatable thing for if you've got some more time. We've only got about it looks like 15 minutes or so, but there might be some parents out there that are really having some struggles with the whole homeschooling thing. Have you got any advice to the parents out there for that?
No, but if they've got any, I'm all ears. Oh, it's been rough.
That's what I've been hearing from most of them.
Yeah, I mean, our eldest is a sophomore, and I mean, honestly, I look at her math and I'm just like, I have no idea. Like,
it wasn't my strong suit.
No, it wasn't my strongest, you know, suit in school, and you know, having not done any kind of math anything, you know, anywhere near that for a very, very long time.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know, it was a challenge. I know it's a challenge for her, and definitely a challenge for us. But we've had to lean on the grandparents. Thank you to my mother-in-law Ui, who's been really helpful with the kids on NAF. She's you know, a former educator, so she's got a you know, a really good ability of being able to relay or show them, you know, things that we can't when it comes to math, because that was tough. But yeah,
for me, it was always why do I have to do this? I don't understand. Why.
Yeah. And just, you know, I know everybody's probably struggling with trying to work from home, but trying to make them, you know, stay on task. I think that's been a big challenge in our household is, you know, they start to sort of slowly sort of stray away from what they're doing, and then you got to corral them back in and come on and just, you know, get it done. And so, you know, we've been, you know, really just sort of trying to incentivize them with, hey, when this is done, we'll go to the beach, we'll go surf, or we'll go, you know, skate, or we'll go do something, you know, that
there you go,
to kind of help, you know, get their focus back on track. But it definitely hasn't been easy.
Yeah, you talked about routine and stuff like that. So those are really great things that you've got going on. And then a reward system with something healthy like getting outside in the ocean. I mean, who can beat that? That seems like pretty good advice to me.
Yeah, I mean, I always respected teachers before, but, you know, they are definitely underpaid and undervalued, because, you know, what they do, I mean, to be able to manage a whole classroom, you know, of 30 kids and keep them on task, that's just, it's amazing what they do.
Yeah, I agree. So big love to all of our teachers out there. No matter what kind of things you're teaching, keep teaching, please. We all need that. And yeah, no growth without some challenge. So come on, kids, step up, you know. Yeah, we got a little bit of free time to cruise and do a few things, you know, video games, whatever you got to do. But rally, do something, make something, get creative, do some problem solving, figure out how we're going to save the world. I don't know. There's plenty to think about.
Design a new video game.
There you go. Yeah, big congratulations to this year's seniors. I know that was rough too for those guys. So.
Yeah, my wife and I have been talking about that we just, you know, our hearts go out to all of them that, you know, they haven't been able to experience the graduation and all those things, but, you know, they're, nonetheless, they're graduating, and, you know, we're going to be fine. We're going to get through this. And, you know, they've got, you know, the whole rest of their world, the whole rest of their lives, you know, to really, to go out and and achieve their goals and accomplish that, whatever they want to do in life.
Yeah. Yeah. You said it. You're the man himself. Pancho, I'm super grateful for your time. I'm looking forward to maybe getting to catch up with you a little bit more. I don't want to drag it on because I could definitely get into some stories with you. But if there's anything else or anybody else you want to say hi to, or I don't know, you got a mom out there still?
Yep, mom's still, she's here on Kauai. Just want to say to everybody out there, I know, we're all going through this challenging time together, and, just a lot of aloha and respect to everybody, and, just support one another, reach out to your friends, your family, try to be as positive as you can, focus on your health, and we'll get through this. And just aloha to everybody out there that's watching this.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Appreciate you. Keep up the good work. And is there anything that you and your family need immediately that we can put out there, or any way that you think of that you want to help anybody else? I don't know. Just put it out there for goals, aspirations.
No, I mean, just we're just continuing to, try to help people, through our business, through our private label business companies out there, surf shops, people that are starting their own brands, trying to develop product for them, and just taking care of our family, just like everybody, trying to, put food on the table, and find ways to be involved in our community, and try to help support, other people and other causes. So, anybody out there that is putting on an event or needs help, definitely we love to participate. We'd love to participate. We love to be involved, and support our community. So that's about it, really.
Perfect. Awesome, dude. You want to make a mention of your brands if anybody wants to check out your companies? Is that cool? You want to do that? That's all good.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, islanddays.com is the name of our company. We're a private label apparel company. We've been in business for 23 years, designing, manufacturing apparel for some of the biggest brands in the industry, right down to some of the smallest startup core brands and core surf shops throughout the islands. My wife and I are both real estate agents. We love homes. We love design, build. Been around construction my whole life. Was very fortunate to buy, a cabin, which was able to, build from the ground up. And I've just always loved design and architecture, and, love seeing people, the joy on their face when they are able to purchase their own home.
Yeah.
Plant those roots. So anybody out there that needs support with that, SullivanProperties.com. It's my uncle's brokerage that we work with him. So that's just another, avenue of something that we do to try to support our family. And that's about it, really.
Cool, man. Well, this has been great. I think we'll probably keep these conversations going for a little while. These have been really amazing, really great to hear some of your story. Thank you so much for sharing some of the harder things, and hopefully some people found some juicy nuggets in there, some things that they can think about and walk forward in life a little bit better. And that's all we really want to aim for, just one step in front of the other one. You can't make the whole leap all at once usually. So,
well, thank you so much,
Seth.
Bro. Yeah, thank you so much, Seth, for having me on. It's been a real pleasure, and just aloha to everybody out there. Thank you for tuning in and listening to me yabble on. But anyway, that's aloha.
Great stories, dude. Thank you. All right, we'll talk again soon. Have a great day.
Take care. Aloha.